You can
enforcement. I think that
Well, I mean, we had some wind.
Jonathan Anna.
Nightingale, move it.
Second.
Right, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great. Ways and Means has 5 resolutions tonight. And Ways and Means, I'd like to kind of get through the resolutions first, and then we can entertain any of the department heads who want to come up and add to their report. But can we start with Ways and Means 1 and group it with Ways and Means 2, both related to Walgreens and changing the assessments and settling on the matter of the challenged assessments. Ways and Means 1 resulted in a refund totaling $17,408. And Ways and Means 2 for the year 2021 shows a reduced assessment by just over $1 million and a county refund of $8,877. So could I get a motion for Ways and Means 1 and 2?
Move.
Second?
Okay, Jenny, is there anything more to add to that?
I will just say that the assessor actually ended up reducing the assessment below what we're settling for. So the settlement, it's kind of good given that fact.
The end result is a
The end
good,
result is, I believe, is favorable.
okay,
It's probably the best we can do.
okay, all right. Any other questions for Jenny? All in favor?
Aye.
All right, great. Ways and Means 3 this is a resolution, I believe, that was prepared by Lynn Marinelli. And this is authorizing the recognition of funds lost on ARPA projects, the remaining funds that were unprogrammed and are going to be accepted into the 2024 fund balance at the end of the year. So she goes on to say that she'll be dealing with $2,953,000 that will be claimed under ARPA as eligible costs related to general government operations. And the revenue will be recorded in this specific account and will be closed out in the fund balance at the close of 2024 fiscal year. So again, we had over $14 million in ARPA funds. 10 million or more was in this lost revenue category. The other was in this restricted category that I believe we still have $1.6 million left in. And this resolution will allow us to take what is ever left in the flexible money and move it into the budget and eventually into the fund balance. Can I get a motion for Ways and Means 3?
Move it.
Second?
Nightingale, second.
Any discussion? I mean, this will be a little bit of some breathing room for the fund balance for 2024, although this is a one-time only influx into the fund balance. And when you look at it, this will cover, fortunately, the 1.2 million that we have in the 730 costs, the mental health competency to stand trial. You'll see a resolution in here. We've already included $1.2 million from the fund balance to cover those costs. This will be a help on some of the building costs that we have. We already appropriated 500,000. There's another resolution tonight for 500,000 more. So it's a very good thing that we're able to recognize this revenue. But as I said, it is really just a one-time opportunity. Any questions? Lynn's on the line. If anyone has any questions for her.
Question.
No questions. Lynn, anything you want to add? This is just cleaning up that non-restricted money, correct?
Yes, I mean, there is, I will continue claiming some other projects that are still part way completed. I'm not trying to free up those monies. So those monies that we have already, put to a project, like we had ordered a rescue vehicle, we haven't finished paying for it. So that I will still pull it down in the future when those payments are made. These are for,
Okay.
this is for leftover money or money that we're not going forward with, a project.
Okay, all right. All in favor of Ways and Means 3?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, great. Ways and Means 4 is, this is a similar resolution that we've passed prior. The healthcare and mental hygiene worker bonus to qualified employees, allegedly the state put in 1.3 billion of state aid, allocating payments of recruitment and retention bonuses to certain healthcare and mental health hygiene workers. This is the final of those payments. Cayuga County, as a qualified employer, ended up recognizing the employees who qualified. And this is, again, the last drop of this. We have obviously received the state reimbursement to cover this, and it is my understanding that we are obligated within 30 days of receiving that money to pass these funds along, and this will be the final resolution for that. You can see in the resolution, it covers certain titles: social worker, registered nurse, another social worker, a senior clerk, social worker, and another senior clerk, all patient-facing. And Lynn explained to me that these basically are new hires that have not received any payment before. But once this passes, then this will be the end of these bonuses. Can I get a motion in a second?
Nightingale, move it.
Second.
Okay, any questions for Lynn on this resolution? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, let's see. Well, last is and I have a copy of, so it's been revised multiple times, but there is a resolution here asking for consideration to change the Director of Finance away from an appointed position to a department head, Director of Finance. This all started when we were looking at making sure that we appointed staff prior to the end of their term so that we didn't have to get into a local law. Grace's position as Director of Finance will be would need to be reappointed, or would have been need to be reappointed at the end of September. Brian Soper's Highway Superintendent position, his appointment is up near the end of October. So the initial conversation was that we should get a head start on looking at these positions so we didn't miss the appointment term. When under further review, there was talk about perhaps maybe we're in the middle of a comp study. Maybe we should be looking at what the Director of Finance would pay so we could put the correct salary in the resolution. And I think there was a general decision that we are not going to be pulling non-bargaining positions outside of this comp study. We're going to wait for the results of this comp study. So that's what we had decided that we would do. But in further review, there is no basis in law or statute why the Director of Finance has to be an appointment. Unlike a term appointment. Unlike the Public Health Director, the Commissioner of Social Services, Director of Real Property, Highway Superintendent, there's law that says they must be an appointed term.
Right.
There is no such obligation here. So if this passes, would allow for, and I can let Rich talk, for us to get it out of a public office.
Right.
And have it be a department head within the county.
Right.
We have to set the public hearing to accomplish this. And if there is no question or a problem doing it, then next month we could bring a resolution of putting the Director of Finance in the position and setting the salary. Setting the salary like we would for any other non-bargaining, looking at, what currently has been given to the staff of the non-bargaining, and just moving it forward and getting it out from under a fixed term appointment. So that really is the basis of Ways and Means 5. And again, we'll set the public hearing, see if there's any public input as to this should be appointed or it shouldn't, and then we can move forward.
Nightingale move
Means
it.
5.
Nightingale second.
Any questions? Okay, you go ahead.
So we're looking also in future at one other position, the.
Well, the other
director of
position,
highway.
the other position for highway will have to come, and I think Ben would be involved in that, but the superintendent of, highway superintendent's term is up at the end of October. And if we would need to reappoint that for a 4-year term, potentially set the salary out, and we have no ability because that is set in statute. So both of these appointments were up. We looked at director of finance. There's no real basis to keep it as an appointed, fixed term appointed position. And, but there will be an appointment in by October for the highway superintendent, unless we want to do a local law. Any other questions, Heidi?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, great. Okay, we have, treasurer, do you have anything to add to your, information for us?
No, nobody has any questions, but I did want to mention, I've been visiting the banks lately, and I mentioned this at the last meeting, but I want to continue to give you up to date. Most of the financial institutions around are planning that the rates are going to start going down here in the fall. And their way of showing that is that the CT rates are going down for the year and 2 years out. So we're monitoring that very closely. And as they start to go down, we might want to modify our positions a little bit. And I'll keep you posted as that goes.
All right, you'll make the modifications just to make sure that we're maximizing the revenue that we can make.
Exactly.
Mhm.
We've been very successful this last year, so I want to keep that, and I don't want to lose all that growth that we've had.
Okay, all right, thank you. Grace, do you have anything that you want to add to your report?
I don't really have anything unless anybody has any questions. Just want to say that, I did put out the sales tax, for August. I don't know if anybody had any questions with regards to that.
Yeah,
You can see it.
that was a clarifying question I asked you,
Yeah.
yes.
So, it's still pretty flat, it is down a little bit over last year, same time, but,
At one point, we thought the sales tax was only going to be under by 500,000, but based on this most latest, it would be almost 700 and some odd $1,000, according to budget.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's all we can do is really just project out that everything stays the same.
Yep.
There's no control over what it comes in as, so.
Okay, and as you and Lynn pointed out, this is no different than any other of the municipalities around the state. We're seeing that kind of flat sales tax.
Overall, the state is saying, they are up a little bit. So we are up, but, really, we're just below our budget. That's the real problem.
Okay,
Sales tax is up a little bit over last year, but it's.
we raised our budget by 9% or something. Okay, and the audit, we talk about the audit, not being finished. That's really the federal part of the audit. That's the only thing left.
Yeah, we don't have the official financials from them. That will be coming shortly. So we will have those, but yes, the federal audit, that's going to be the one that's a little bit of an issue because obviously they're looking for certain samples that we can't provide at this time. So we're working on that. Yeah, they're just wrapping up.
Okay. Any other questions for Grace? Okay, Jenny? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out on my last bullet point that we are going through a conversion for our GIS system. And that we are extremely fortunate to have somebody on our staff that's able to do that conversion in-house so that we don't have to contract out and pay a vendor to do that. So
Within your office?
within our office.
Mhm. Great.
So we're extremely fortunate to have that individual in our staff.
Okay, anything else for Jenny? All right, Diane?
Hi,
Hi.
as I reported in my report, the comp study has started. We've completed phase 1, which was providing the data for the jobs that we want to have analyzed to catapult our consultant. We're in phase 2 now, so they're going out and doing the market analysis for the jobs currently. They're anticipating that hopefully that will be done and they'll have a preliminary review report to discuss with us around mid-September.
Oh,
And
that's,
then we would hope to have a final report hopefully by the end of September, early October.
oh, that's better than I assumed it would be,
Yes. So
more
we're moving
timely.
along nicely.
Okay. I did have a question. The 22 open positions, does that represent open positions countywide? And is it funded positions? I'm trying to think, with all the departments we have, there's only 22 positions that aren't filled?
Oh, no, those are only positions that the resolutions have gone through and been approved by the legislature to fill.
Okay, there are other vacancies
There are
occurring in the county.
Correct.
Okay, because at one point when we were doing our tabling and, kind of putting a pause on hiring, I think it was to make sure that if there were going to be any cuts in next year's budget, there would be no people attached to those cuts.
Right.
So that is still something that can and should be looked at. What are the overall vacancies within the departments?
Right. Some departments
Okay.
still have positions vacant that they haven't requested yet to fill
Mhm.
and it may go without them. But these are ones that resolutions have been brought forth to fill and they've been approved
And
by the legislature.
okay, 22 budgeted that have permission to fill. That doesn't represent 22 only vacancies within the county.
Right.
Okay, all right, that's what I wasn't clear about. Go ahead.
Do you have a number on the actual vacancies beyond those permission to fill?
I don't with me tonight, but I can get that and email that out to you.
I think that's important.
I'm sure, Aileen, that would be part of the budget review when we meet with the various departments.
Yeah.
What do you currently have open and where? Yes, okay. And I think that was the whole intent of trying to kind of put a slowdown on filling to see if there was a way to create some natural vacancies within the departments in case we had to look at not using so much of that fund balance versus the increase in taxes. Okay, and I guess the last thing, we had some speakers last month, I believe, talk about diversity and how we were doing in terms of outreaching. And it's probably my fault that that's only a quarterly report because I asked and Hans at the time said quarterly was fine. But would you be prepared to talk about some of the strategies that have been put into place and what results we have had from those? Not tonight, but
Yeah, I can give you a few examples
Okay.
now if you want.
Okay.
So recently, we did get invited to do a presentation at Auburn High School, so about civil service along with the city civil service and to a variety of their students. So now we have information in their guidance office as far as employment opportunities and how to go to our website and look for jobs. And we did actually see quite an increase in our seasonal applications this year from that population, so it was really nice. So I think it really helped Parks and Trails fill their positions this summer.
Mhm.
So we're hoping that getting that initial interest in the county will lead to future employment down the road for these individuals. We've had meetings in the past with BOCES here to discuss the opportunities for internships with their students to see if there's a possibility with some of their programs that they may be able to get students to come and do some internships with the county. We've met with some minority community leaders in the past, just to talk about civil service, what the application process is like.
who would that be? I mean, different locations, you mean?
Yeah, we went to Booker T. Washington.
Yeah.
And met with a variety of people out there one night. Shireen and I were there, just to kind of, again, with the city to talk about civil service, how the application process works, exams. You know, how easy it is to sign up and take them to help them hopefully spread the word throughout the community. We had a good response when we did a banner with the city too, saying we're hiring, and we put across Genesee Street. So it's in a great location where people are coming in and out of Wegmans, see it frequently to also help entice people to check our website out and apply for positions. So.
Yeah, I knew there were strategies going on and, they don't always go talked about. So I appreciate yeah, any information that you could give in terms of what results we've had with trying to get a more diverse county employment. Okay. All right. We're done with the resolutions. I guess we can go on to Health and Human Services.
Okay, Madam Chair, Health and Human Services had 12 resolutions. And in addition to those 12 resolutions for August, there were also 5 tabled resolutions that were brought back from July. I'm going to take a few of them one at a time. HH1, you'll see a lot of these say amended, amended, amended. What happened with that amendment simply was the fill by hiring date. There was a mistake in most of those fill bys that indicated fill by end of year, but actually that wouldn't give the 6-month allowance. So it went through, we had to amend so that it went through February 28th. So just as an explanation to all of these amended notes. But HH1 is authorizing the county legislature and the public health director to create and fill a WIC, competent professional authority or nutritional position. The create here, is misleading. So I wanted to pull it out individually. Essentially what's happening is there is an opening, there are funds available, and this resolution will allow this fill and this position until
Mhm.
all monies are exhausted for it. And then it would be abolished.
Yeah, sure. Can I just ask, I mean, this, I appreciate you pulling this out because we are not creating a brand new position at this point in time.
Correct.
We're only creating this because we need a person to fill behind a medical leave of absence.
Correct.
There'll never be, the intent is to not have 2 of these positions.
Exactly.
But
And the
we need the work
resolution-
to get done.
Right.
And in order to do it with an incumbent sitting in the job, we had.
Correct. And the wording of the resolution indicates that.
Yep.
So that we, at the time that there's the potential for an employee coming back on board, this person
Yep.
would end, this position would end.
Motion. Yep,
Can I have a question?
sure.
Should we have a motion
Motion,
to put it on the floor?
I'll move it. You second it?
Second.
Sorry,
Yep.
No, you're fine.
you, Heidi, you said that, until the funds run out, is there a time limit on this job? Just curious.
There isn't a time limit. This is 100% payable through federal funds, but it's annual. The funding comes annually. So until and through the time that those 100% funds are exhausted into the new budget year for the feds.
Comes annually.
Yeah.
And has reoccurred for several years.
Correct.
30.
WIC goes back.
25.
Actually, they had their 50th.
It's a
Yeah.
WIC, yeah.
They had their 50th anniversary recently.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a motion, a second, all in favor?
Hi.
Aye. HH2, authorizing the county legislature and the public health director to fill a principal typist position in the public health department. Importantly, this is a change in title from senior typist. This went through the personnel committee, went through a close evaluation of duties, was looked at by civil service and by Diane Ferris's office. And indeed, it was concluded that the position does indeed warrant the title of and work of principal.
We get a motion and a second for this comment.
Move it.
Okay. I'm curious about if we're going to change the senior typist to principal. why we would not just abolish the senior typist in the budget. Instead of unfunding it, we've done that with other positions. So I'd like to make a motion to abolish the senior typist in place of this principal.
Second.
Any questions? You opposed to that?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, now I have to do some amended resolution or,
Yes, we have.
now can I get a motion for the resolution as amended to create and fill a principal typist position and to abolish the senior typist that the incumbent came from?
Amended resolution.
Second the amended.
Second.
Okay, great. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Then I would like to bundle HH3, HH5, HH6, HH7. Oh, I'm sorry, not HH7, HH3, 5, 6, 11, 12, and then the tabled resolutions, HH3, I should say 724 HH3, 724 HH4, 724 HH5, 724 HH6, 724 HH9. Each of these are budgeted fills. None of these create positions. One of them, no, we'll discuss that on floor. So you can ask me specific questions about them, but we're looking at filling caseworkers, case supervisors, a paralegal, and then 2 attorneys in social services, 2 a social service commissioner, to a junior accountant, grade 19, which abolishes the principal accountant clerk. I'll give you time to look at those. All of these pass through committee.
Can I get a motion? I'd like to separate out 5 and 12.
Okay.
Oh, just as a matter of clarification, I think neither of those resolutions include where in the comp plan these positions are, nor what grade they're in, and they should. So HH5 is the fiscal manager, fiscal management for the Department of Social Services, and HH12 is the social services attorney. It is lacking where in the plan and what grade they should be. So if they could be amended to reflect that.
And that includes 6 also.
And 6, oh, I thought 6 had it.
He's
but-
also a social services attorney.
Supervisor.
I thought that was the only one that had it. HH. No,
I didn't think, when I pulled the original resolution, it was that.
okay, the supervising social services attorney lacks, oh no, it says legal group grade 3 in the part 5, so 6 is fine. Yep, it's just 5 and 12 that need to be amended to reflect the grade in the legal group and what part of the comp plan they're in. Can we just make that a friendly amendment?
Well, this is a
No, but I mean, can we
motion
do-
to, yes.
Okay,
So a motion for HH3, HH6, HH11, and then 724, HH3, HH4, HH5, HH6, and HH9 as a bundle.
okay, can I get a motion in a second?
Move.
Second,
Second.
okay. Any opposed? Okay, thank you.
HH4 does have the language of create two social services positions to fill human services examiners. Separated this out because
help.
they are help positions. So they're not actually new positions, but they have to be created because we're using the help program, which eliminates the
Yep.
need for the social services exam. And it creates a new title.
I'll move.
HH4.
I'll second. And, you know, I certainly know, Heidi, we are filling a bunch of these positions, but I do believe that at the last meeting, Christine had talked about giving up a senior caseworker and cutting a paralegal to part-time in the next year's budget
Correct.
is what she pretty much promised to do.
Mhm.
Okay. What's left on the
So I
agenda?
think we have to vote on HH4.
Yes, you do.
Okay, all in favor of HH4?
Aye.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
just going back to 5 and 12, I
Mhm.
don't believe those were moved or amended, so if that could be done just for the record purposes. If somebody
They
could
were part-
move
They were
them.
part of the bundle and they weren't.
Pulled them out. So
You
we
pulled
need
them out,
Okay,
so we
right.
have a
Yep.
So
motion on HH 5 and 12.
as amended,
Let's get them on the
Okay.
floor first.
okay,
So if we could have an amendment or
a motion for 5
Make a
and
motion for HH5 and HH12 as amended.
second on the amended.
Not amended, yeah. On the
To move them first.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, sorry.
We do all in small detail. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. And then the amendment, which I think is a friendly amendment, is to add the grades and where they appear in the comp plan. If
Correct.
somebody would move that, please.
Yep. I'll move that.
Second.
If there could be a vote, please.
All in favor?
Aye.
And then on the resolution as amended, please.
Oh, my God.
I am demanding tonight, I apologize.
Resolution is amended?
Yes.
Yes,
I
yes, yes.
Thank you. I'm happy now.
Thank you.
didn't think much, but he
But
said.
you're right.
Madam Chair, I'd like to move on and bundle HH7, HH8, and HH9. I could have a motion. These are all entering into contracts. These
Yep.
are renewal contracts.
I'll move 7, 8, and 9.
Second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Right.
Aye. Then HH10, this is authorizing a transfer to the general fund to the mental health department to cover psychiatric care. We've talked about this at several meetings and actually even prepared a resolution that went to the state of New York demanding payment from the state rather than putting that legal requirement on the counties. And it certainly is clear to us that it's become a burden that we can't predict. So this particular resolution, and we were, through Lauren, we were given a heads up on this is coming. It's about $600,000 and would need to come from the general fund.
This adds to the 500 we've already taken.
Correct.
Yeah, can I get a motion for HH10? Yes, I'll move it. You don't want to, but you'll second it? That's right.
Second for the vote.
Okay. No one wants to certainly look at these kind of costs, but I don't think there is a way that we can get out from under this obligation at 100%. Hey, Lynn, is it something that you'll be looking at next year in terms of what to put in this budget?
Could you repeat that, Elaine? I couldn't hear you.
The additional $679,000 for the 730 evaluations. You said last year you didn't budget all that much because you had no way to know. But what will you do as the budget comes closer? Look at how many people are in these placements and then, make a guesstimate? Is that how it'll
Right.
work?
I mean, we'll talk to Lauren about the current people who are placed there and what their estimated release is, but we probably won't budget for people that we don't know about.
Right. But
Don't exist.
you might need more than you did last year, but who knows? Okay.
Right, right.
Yep. All right. Yeah, did we vote on 10?
Not yet.
Yeah.
We're still in discussion mode.
Yes, certainly.
So I just want to be clear, we got $500,000 originally, and now we're getting another 600 plus thousand.
679,000, another.
And that's to cover the current people that we have in this.
My understanding, Mark, is there wasn't all that much money in the line. We got the first 500,000 and that there's more individuals or they're staying longer. So we're going to be out of money again. And the projection is another $679,000, wherever they came up with that figure, would be what we would need to pay the bills through the end of 24. Is that true, Lynn?
Yes. It is through the end of 24.
And that's barring we don't have anybody else enter into that category
Correct,
before the end of the year.
correct.
Yeah.
Thank you for that clarity.
Not yet.
Vote. You can vote.
Well, I thought we all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Aye.
Tom's opposed, but he's voting yes. No, you're voting no?
Voting no.
Okay, Tom is opposed.
Trying to help you out.
That's it, Heidi?
Aye, that's it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Don't forget me.
Government operations, had two resolutions. They both passed through the Government Ops Committee. One is to extend a Board of Elections grant or a contract extension with NTS for the provision of election management software. And the other, if I recall, was the sale of county-owned property. There were either 3 or 4 properties, one in Albert, or 2 in Albridge, 1 in Auburn.
Correct.
Okay, and they both passed through committee. Can I get a
The bundle GO 1 and 2.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great. Pardon? You did not. Okay, Ben?
Yes. Planning and Public Works. Let's attack the ones that were gone through committee this last week. And then we'll get to the ones that were tabled in earlier months. So PPW 1 is for the closing of the county office building and mental health building, Hardenberg building. There is a, Heidi has, and there is an amendment to this, but let's get a motion to get it on the floor for
I'll
discussion.
move it.
Gil, second?
All right, and in front of you, you have the amendment to the resolutions, and it's basically the whereas and the amount of money that's being changed in the contract. So if we could get a motion to amend PPW 1 according to what we have in front of us and highlighted.
Move to amend, to accept amendment?
Second.
Amend.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You guys need it?
I think.
I got
You have
it.
it. Okay,
Thank you.
great. All right.
Motion for the amended,
Yep. All in favor? I think,
no, make the motion for the amended resolution.
okay. I'll second.
Can we gonna get a discussion before they vote?
Yeah. Go ahead. You can tell them what you.
Go ahead, what's that?
Well, it says, the cleaning of the county building, you can't even currently get into the county office. So you have to have a contract.
So I'll pass this to you.
Oh.
Want to, so the highlighted part.
That's what cleans it up, Mark.
That's what we amended, Mark.
Sorry. I didn't-
That's all right.
So basically, the vendor is going to not charge us $118,000 to clean the COV until we reopen it. They are only going to charge us for the Hardenberg building, the courthouse, and the old jail.
The original resolution was for 188,000. Now the amended is 118 because they're, to Mark's point, they're taking the county office building out.
Yes, and the last paragraph in the resolution gives us some leeway to reopen the contract when COB does reopen to seamlessly provide services for cleaning of the building.
Great. Thank you for doing that.
Thank you for
Thank you.
making that clear. I'm sorry.
So,
It's important.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second for the amended resolution. Any other further discussion?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. W2. For the one-stop system operator agreement with the Cayuga Department Workforce Development Board. Again, at no cost to
Yep.
the authority, to us.
I'll move that. This is our.
Nightingale, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
PPW 3 was amended at committee. I think it was just a typo in the date.
It's my understanding was moved, it was 24 to 25. Yes.
So it went through committee, was amended at committee. I would,
I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
PPW 4 is the grant application being done by our planning department. Again, if there is any cost to the county, it's going to be very minimal. This was discussed at the at committee, so I'd look for a resolution.
I'll move it. Second,
Nightingale, second.
this is where you ask for kind of an update of what we're going to be applying for at some point. Yep.
Yep.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like to bundle PPW 5, 6, and 7.
I'll move 5, 6, and 7 as a bundle.
Nightingale, second. As a bundle.
Any questions on these? Little League is no cost, Deauville Island electricity, and the other is just moving some money out of this budget in, or the museum budget into the parks budget, correct, Doug?
Correct.
Yep.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
PPW 8 authorizes weights and measures to accept state funding for inspections and screening tests of fuel and stored retail outlets and stuff, so.
Nightingale. Move it.
Just accept these funds.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 PPW 9 was corrected at ways and at committee last week. Went through committee. Again, it's for a cleaning service, something we have to do. So entertain a motion for PPW 9.
I'll move that.
I'll second.
Yes, this was, they had reference to the county office building in there by error or something. Is that what I remember?
Yeah, they didn't have the resolution listed properly.
Okay, great. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Great.
Okay, you look at the 4 motions, the 4 resolutions that were tabled in June and July. PPW 2 was for June, I believe, and authorized the highway superintendent to fill a motor equipment operator medium position. There was actually 2 of these, I believe, and we did one at the last ledge meeting, but this one got skipped over. I'll say it publicly, you know, we're moving a lot of hires. But I can tell you, we're going to have to really take a real hard look when it comes to doing this budget. And I would really, really hate to see us hiring these positions and cutting them. but it doesn't seem like the body has the wherewithal or the
Appetite.
stomach
Mhm.
to not fill these positions, so I'm, at this point in time, I'm happy to fill them, but I'll also be the first one to vote for cutting them when the time, if the time comes and we really need to. So we'll move through these and
And that's not just these positions, you're talking about every position.
all the positions, but this one's in my,
Mhm.
so PPW 2 from June was to hire that medium operator position.
Move it.
Nightingale, second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
PPW 2 from July, authorized to fill highway supervisor position. This, as Brian said, could probably even save the county some money over a year time. So just really changing, I think, from working foreman to a supervisor. And there's two of them here, PPW 2 and 3, so I'd like to bundle them.
I'll move PPW 2 and 3.
A second.
Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
PPW 4 is to fill a heavy operator position.
Want to move that? I'll move it.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now Mr. Winslow.
All right, thank you, Madam Chair. Judicial and Public Safety, they have a total of 10 resolutions for submittal here tonight. They've all gone through committee. And I guess we will start with JP1 and JP2. I'd like to bundle those two. They're both for the 911 center, dealing with maintenance contracts. JP1 being for the UPS, the backup, for the backup 911 center. And JP2 being a maintenance agreement with Motorola for maintenance of the emergency communication system.
Motion for JP1 and 2.
And I'll second that. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, I'd like to offer JP3, authorizing amendment of the 2024 Cayuga County Compensation Plan and the Cayuga County District Attorney's budget to reflect the state mandated salary increase.
That'll be 2/3 on the floor because they're taking it out of contingency. All in favor? Or I'll make a motion. Make a second.
Reluctantly second.
Uh-huh.
Now the all in favor.
All in favor?
Aye.
It's not easy being here.
Okay, JP4, authorizing the district attorney to accept a grant from the New York State Office of Victim Services to continue the victim witness program, which is necessary to comply with legal requirements.
Nightingale, move it.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Why do we have to vote on it if it's, never mind.
We're accepting money to, yeah, okay.
Okay, actually, JP5, I'd like to bundle JP5 and JP9. Just authorizing the chair, both places, JP5, authorizing the chair of the legislature to enter into agreement with Cayuga Counseling for the alternative sentencing program from July 1, 2024 through June 30, 2025. And JP9, authorizing the probation department to enter into a contract with Cayuga Counseling to provide pretrial release services.
I'll move.
Second.
Okay, great. These are longstanding contracts. Yep. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, JP6, authorization to fill one principal typist title in the Cayuga County Probation Department.
Move it.
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
JP7, again to fill, authorization to fill one probation supervisor title in the Cayuga County Probation Department.
Nightingale, move it.
I'll second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
And JP8, authorizing the probation department to accept funding through the GIVE grant from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services and amend the 2024 probation budget to accept the funding.
Move it.
Second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
And lastly, JP 10, authorize the sheriff and the Cherokee County Legislature to renew an agreement with the New York State Unified Court System to ensure adequate security services are available to the court system in Cayuga County.
Gail, move it.
A second. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, there is a ledge resolution that we are not going to have to vote on tonight, but does look like authorizing the chair of the legislature to contract for goods, services, and equipment rental to the related to the emergency closure of the county office building. And it is asking to have a transfer of additional money from the fund balance to support some of these costs. It will, if it passes, it will be asking for another $500,000 to come out of the general fund. I think we are going to be having a special meeting to talk a little bit more about the status of the building.
I believe if I could, I will ask Lynn to do a cumulative spending overview. It was sent to your emails just yesterday, so if you haven't seen it, please take a look at that. But at the ledge meeting, I'm going to ask Lynn to come and discuss what we've spent the money on and then discuss where we're headed. And then we'll get into greater detail on Thursday's meeting, which is on the 29th.
Yep.
Here, 6 o'clock. We're going to have a special meeting to talk about all the things related to the building and real estate.
Right. And when Lynn did send the information, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, and do you have a copy of it, Grace? Or it does mimic this resolution that says the county has spent approximately $350,000, and there are open commitments for an additional $77,000, which would total to $427,000 that has been used out of the original $500,000 that we appropriated. And she did, Lynn, you're on the phone. You did do a line listing that really totals all of those costs. Is that true?
Yes.
Yes, I got it.
Oh, you did? Okay. And, that was the requirement in the resolution that the Ways and Means Committee would get an update on the spending related to this building. So she did prepare that for everyone's review.
And I am interested in doing a presentation Tuesday for the public to see this information clearly. Because I know it was sent to the legislature and to some staff, but really should be public consumption so that everyone knows what's going on.
Even included in, yeah, and the ledge meeting I should know, but the ledge meeting is when?
Tuesday.
This Tuesday, and the meeting on the building is Thursday. Okay. So we will be asked to take a look at this resolution and answer any questions, ask questions, and vote on another $500,000 expenditure at the ledge meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Any second?
Second.
All right. Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.